Let's go back to Ziniko Mhlaba now. The body of Jayden-Lee Meek, an 11-year-old boy who went missing on Tuesday, has been found in Fleurhof, Johannesburg. The circumstances surrounding his death are still under investigation. Ziniko Mhlaba, tell us more, and perhaps more importantly, whether or not, in fact, the body has been found, but of course, no one knows what exactly happened. What is the community, but more specifically, the family, saying?
The family is very, very distraught. Some of them are not even here. This is the residential place of that young boy who lost his life tragically in the early yesterday afternoon between 4 o'clock and 4 a.m. this morning. So committee members are still gathered here in this particular complex in Fleurhof under Roodeport. And of course, in between the crossing, or after the last crossing I had, of course, we did try to walk into the complex itself. Some police officers are there already trying to really establish and gather as much information as possible. What we can confirm, Bravi, for now is that the boy did walk inside this particular complex, and he did not leave the complex when it comes to the main entrance, which is the only entrance that gives you access to this particular complex. But also, security-wise, from a distance, you can tell, Bravi, that this is a very secure complex because it is fenced right across, and beyond the fence itself there is an open space. There is an open space, so there is no way as somebody can exit this complex through this gated place. And of course, we did speak about police officers who are trying to establish as much information as possible. They're not ready to talk to us yet. As we see, Mr. Marvin Masondo, the also spokesperson of the SAPS, who's trying to gather as much information as possible. But we do have relevant stakeholders, someone who's very responsible, or someone who is responsible for housing matters in this particular area. And of course, she's going to join me now. Ma'am, thank you very much for your time. We're meeting under very difficult circumstances, but as someone who is responsible for housing matters here, talk to us about what is it that you know so far, but also generally, how is crime in this particular area?
Good evening, good afternoon. Crime is a very, very big problem in our area. Most of these flats has got securities. But most of our securities in these complexes are foreigners. My problem is, how can they have a foreigner taking care of South Africans? They don't have our best interest at heart. You understand?
Yeah.
So there is a problem where both securities at this complex has got two different stories. The child was missing yesterday, and his body was still home when it was found this morning. So someone in this complex must know something. A forensic audit must be done with all of these flats here. As it is, Florida and Fleurhof, Ward 70, has got a crime problem. And most of our crimes are not even committed by our own children.
Yeah. So talk to me about the timeline here. From the entrance to the actual rooms or properties themselves, it's not even 500 meters. So what have you gathered on the ground since you got here, and you've managed to engage some committee members who are residing in the very same context? What are you getting, even though it might not be official, but someone might have shared something with you?
So what is being shared is that both security guys are foreigners. Both of them has been high on drugs since yesterday until now. So they must know something. The stories don't match up. The mother has been working from home. The child they say they saw the child came in, but the mother didn't see him, or he didn't even go into the unit. So something is not adding up here. And I feel somebody is protecting something here.
I also heard that some residents who are residing here have also been complaining about break-ins as well. Is that something that you also picked up or something that you're aware of?
Yes, I am aware of it. 2 weeks or a few months ago, I'm not 100% sure, there was a housebreaking here at gunpoint. On the flat, you can still see how the gun marks on the doors. So there is a real security concern in this complex. And something needs to be done about it.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your time. I really appreciate it. So that's another tale, another version of what might have happened to this young boy. But I can also just show you, Bravi, from where we are. Look at the gate. It's very secured. There is no way anyone could walk in and out without being picked up by the security. And on the left-hand side of the very same gate, you see the security guard holding room there. And it has a glass door. Actually, let's get closer there, if we may, so that we give you like a practical sense of the security measures. And of course, really, we're struggling to get answers to this particular question because I'm going to show you the gate itself. If we can just stop here. This is the gate. If you see that bucket there, that's where the young boy was dropped off. The gate has a solid access gate, which is electronic, but also this is the guard room that I'm talking about. And if you come closer to the guard room, there is this window, which is directly looking at the gate itself. So if you are inside the room, you are able to see anyone who's coming in, and you are able to see anyone who's walking outside this complex. So these are some of the details that really committee members are struggling to get answers on, but also the family representative we spoke to, who has some private security expertise as well, is raising those questions that something is definitely not being done accordingly or correctly as far as securing this particular complex. And of course, as the lady I just spoke to right now also alluded to the fact that there have been some incidents or break-ins at guard points happening inside this particular complex. So that's the latest we have right now. We are awaiting for the South African Police Service to give us a briefing and details from what they'll be gathering, what they are currently gathering from the private security. They've been working around with the guard who's on duty just to get more details. Maybe some of the questions that we have will get more answers on them from the South African Police Service, as they've been directly engaging with the private security company responsible for securing this complex.
Ziniko Mhlaba with that update. Quite a tragic end to that particular incident.